Hollywood made a movie about 2012, and several TV producers have made shows about the Mayan calendar and the prophecies of Nostradamus. They've all been presenting a concept of, oh my God, we're all going to die. What a crock. Now it is time to have a look at the one source they have all ignored, the Bible. The Bible also indicates when the end of days will occur. The book of Daniel gives specifics, but it also says we cannot work it out until the time of the end. In Daniel 12:4 it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end." Also in chapter 12, Daniel is told that there will be a period of 1,335 years, made up of 1,290 years called the time of the Gentiles, and beginning with the abolition of the daily sacrifice, which happened sometime after the Muslim conquest in 634, but before the construction of the Dome of the Rock. Although we don't know the exact start date, we do know when it ended. That was in 1967 in the Six-Day War, when Israel reclaimed Jerusalem. The 45-year period that commenced at that time is called the time of the end. By adding 45 to 1967, we can establish that Daniel dated Judgment Day as being 2012. So we now know that the Bible in the book of Daniel predicted the end would come in 2012. So just what can we expect in the time of the end? Again, Daniel tells us that there will be a great war, Daniel 7:22, until the Ancient of Days came and pronounced judgment in favour of the saints of the Most High, and then the time come when they possess the kingdom. Also in Daniel 12:2, multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake. Strangely, Nostradamus also predicted the dead would arise. But Daniel continues, "As I looked, the thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was as white as snow, the hair of his head was white like wool, and his throne was flaming like fire, and its wheels were all ablaze. A river of fire was coming out from before him. Thousands upon thousands attended him. Then 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened." Daniel follows that with, "In my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All peoples, nations, and men of every language worshipped him." So it appears the judgment is to occur before the Messiah arrives, and that a great multitude will survive. Just who make up this great multitude that survives, and how do we ensure that we are among them? In Revelation 11:4 it says, "These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth." Surely they can't mean only olive trees and candlesticks will survive. But in another part of Revelation 1:20 it says, "The mystery of the 7 stars you saw in my right hand and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks are the 7 churches." In Revelation chapter 1, candlesticks are defined as churches. So what are the 2 churches? There are 2 churches whose teachings are based on biblical law, and who require their followers to read and study the Bible and adhere to the instructions given. These are Judaism and Christianity, and although the teachings of each have been interpreted by men, the basic tenets of righteousness, justice, and mercy prevail. There are some Christian denominations that teach tribulation, rapture, and even replacement theology that says the Jews are bad and have been replaced by Christians as the chosen people. None of this is supported by the Bible. In fact, it goes against verses such as Leviticus 25:42 or Leviticus 26:42. We live in a time when few read the Bible and most have no idea just what it says. We live in a time of plenty, but we do not live in a time of righteousness. Dishonesty, depravity, and violence abound. The world cannot continue as it is. Our society is bringing about its own destruction. This is what the Bible says about this destruction. From the book of Zephaniah, I will sweep away everything from the face of the earth, declares the Lord. I will sweep away both men and animals. I will sweep away the birds of the air and the fish of the sea. The wicked will have only heaps of rubble when I cut off man from the face of the earth, declares the Lord. Also in Zechariah 13:8, in the whole land, declares the Lord, 2/3 will be struck down and perish, yet 1/3 will be left in it. That third I will bring into the fire. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. The crux of all this is that despite what the movies tell you, not everybody will die. The just and the righteous will be saved. But 2/3 of 7 billion means over 4.5 billion people that will be destroyed. If you want to know how to survive, read a Bible. If you want to know when this will happen, read my books. Available from Amazon or click on my webpage.